Hello. In today's session, we are going to look at React Context. React Context API provides a way to pass global data down the component tree without passing props. For example, current authenticated user, theme, preferred language in a multilingual app. In our app, we have three basic components: login, home, and settings. We will maintain a state logged in, which will be true if a user is logged in and false if logged out. When a user clicks login, it displays a message user is logged in across all the three components. When you click on the button again, logout, that message disappears. In order to achieve this, we have a login context object which comes with the provider React component that allows consuming components to subscribe to context changes. Let's see this in action. The code to our project is available by using the link provided in the description below. Please also note that this project requires some basic understanding of React and TypeScript. You can use React TypeScript tutorial provided in the link in the description below to help you get started. We will start off the project by using npx create react app context TypeScript app --template TypeScript. This will create for us a TypeScript project. Our React project has been created. I will go ahead and do some cleanup here and start the project. In the source folder, we create a components folder. In the components folder, I will add three components. Start off the login component, home component, and finally the settings component. I will then go ahead and import the components in the app.tsx file. In the app.css file, paste the CSS that is required for this project. Let's run the project at this point in time and see how it looks. You can see our three components are displaying: the login, homepage, and settings with a login button. The login button currently doesn't have functionality. In the app.tsx file, we will create our login context. Using create context, we will pass in the default values. In this case, it is an object that has the login property and set login hook. We will import the create context and the use state. Using the use state hook, we will initialize login to false. We will wrap our components with the login context dot provider component and pass in a value login and set login. These values will be propagated down the component tree to every component that subscribes to context changes. Let's go to the login.tsx. In the login component, we will use the use context to subscribe to the login context for changes that happen within that context. We will be able to get login and set login properties. In our onClick function on our button, we will be able to set logged in to true or false, depending on whether the user is logged in or not. Let's save changes and run the app. If we click the login button, the user is logged in message is displayed. but only happening on the login component. This is because it's only the login component that has subscribed to our context. We need to do the same thing for the home page and the settings, so that they can also subscribe to the same context and they will be able to be notified whenever the context value changes. Let's run the app again. When we click on this login button, now the user is logged in message is displayed across all the components. This is because all of them at this point in time, they are subscribed to our login context. We need to do some refactoring of our code. In this case, if you look at what we have at the moment, use context hook is being used in all components. This is not the best practice because it means the whole context is passed to every component and it might not necessarily be required. In addition, there is some duplication around the code. So to refactor the code, let's go ahead and create a separate file for the context. Create a context folder in the source. Then create login context.tsx. We will import the use state and create context from React. We will then move our create context from the app.tsx into this file. We will then create a function that takes the default children prop. We create interface login provider props for children. The children object is of type react.reactNode. Using the use state, we will set up the logged in and set login. The login context.provider, we will also move it from the app.tsx. I will create the use login context, which is a custom hook that will return the use context login context. So instead of importing the use context from React on every component, I will import this custom hook, use login context in every component. Finally, some small change here. In the login.tsx, the onClick function on our button will conditionally render logout or login depending on whether login is true or false. I will display the app, and as we can see, our app is running as expected. That's the end of our tutorial. Thank you for watching.